Pastor Bruce on our midweek recap. I want to touch base a little bit on what we talked about Sunday and talk a little bit about what's coming up. This past Sunday, we continued in our good news of our good news series, and we talked about the good news of faith and what that means. A lot of what we talked about is the difference between hoping and having faith in something, and the reality that our life operating out of faith looks a whole lot different than when our life is operating out of hope. So I hope you're able to catch Sunday's sermon. If not, always it's never you won't understand a lot of what we're talking about in these midweek recap videos if you don't watch Sunday's sermon. You can always catch it on the website, Facebook, YouTube, if you need to catch up with that. If you're an audio person, you can always get it on podcast as well through Google or an Apple, and I think that's where we're registered between those two. So, if you're an audio, you'd rather listen to the sermons or maybe just listen to it again. I know for me, sometimes it takes a second or third take to really digest the information that's being presented. So I hope this series is speaking to you. I know for me, just thinking of speaking the good news to those around me, first to myself and then to others around me, has been an awesome challenge for me. Also reading a book that's like, I was just sharing with Jackie yesterday just how similar to where I'm at that with the book that I'm reading. It's pretty cool. But just recapping a little bit of Sundays, the good news of faith, and I really want to challenge you to ask yourself some of those real questions about your life, and do you operate from a basis of faith or hope? I think it's really important to think about that, to ask yourself, am I really looking at the Bible? Am I really looking at the gospel? Am I looking at Christ with faith that everything he says is true, that if God says do something this way, we do it without question, that we don't try to think of, is there a better way to do it? Can I do it on my own strength? But we need to operate that way. One of the things we talked about Sunday was how one of the big differences is someone who operates with their identity in Christ as an addition to their other identities, I'm a husband, I'm a dad, and then, I'm also a Christian, as if that's like an additional add-on identity. And then someone who sees their identity in Christ as that is the core, that is who they are, and everything else operates from that identity. That to me is a person of faith who operates from faith in God and who he is, because the rest of our life won't be a result of the decisions we make. The rest of eternity won't be a decision of the rest of, let me get this straight. The rest of eternity won't be a result of the decisions that we're making today, the bad decisions, the good decisions, the choices we're making, the things we're investing our finances into. The eternity will be a result of the gospel in us, what the gospel does and what the gospel does in this world. That will echo through all of eternity. All of eternity will be colored through the gospel, not where we decided to eat lunch today. So it's of vital importance we learn how to speak the gospel into every circumstance. It's important that we learn how to speak it to ourselves, that we learn how to tell ourselves the good news of the gospel, and that we learn how to tell others the good news of the gospel. And in every scenario, the gospel has way more power than we do. The gospel is way more relevant than we are. The gospel has better insight than we do. And was just actually talking with someone today about this and how, as you look at the New Testament is really just the authors taking the gospel and applying it to certain situations and scenarios. That's what the New Testament is right now we're reading through the Bible in a year and we're reading through Galatians. What is Paul dealing with? He's dealing with a church who's trying to who is being told there's another gospel. And first, Paul's got to kind of nip that in the bud and say that there is no other gospel. First, there's only one gospel. And this is what that gospel says, that we, you don't need to follow all these laws and all these rules. What's important is Jesus. And Paul's being very clear about that. But he's just taking the gospel and he's applying it to their situation, to what's going on with them. And man, if we learn how to do that ourselves, instead of just sometimes misquoting what Paul is saying by taking one verse out of context and trying to apply it to a situation, which can work and can be applicable, But if we would learn how to do what Paul was doing, which is take the gospel and apply it to certain circumstances and scenarios and situations, how much more effective that would be in our lives. So I hope you have faith in Jesus and who he is and what he's done. True faith. Like we talked about, faith isn't hope. Faith includes hope, but it's not the entirety of hope. There's more to it than just that. There's seeing who Jesus is, seeing what he's done, experiences that we've had with him in our lives, and then having faith for all the things that have not yet occurred or we've not yet seen fulfilled. We have faith that Jesus will do them because we've seen him to be so faithful, to be powerful, to be who he says he is. So that is faith, and living from a stance of faith and the gospel lens of faith. That's what the good news of faith is all about. This coming week, we're going to be talking about the good news of joy, and I'm really excited about this one. And looking forward to having that conversation with you all. I know there's some stuff coming up. I know we got the Christmas banquet, those kind of things. I'm trying to open my calendar now because I, again, forgot to do that before I started my video, like I do just about every week. Yeah, we're assembling the cookie trays tomorrow, so if you're able to come by and do that. If you were making cookies or you're making something for those trays, please make sure that gets here by tomorrow. And that way we can incorporate those into the trays that we're taking out for everybody, and we can get those trays distributed tomorrow. Trying to see what else is coming up. I know the Alliance Women, you all have your Christmas dinner coming up this Sunday. Yeah, I think that's about it. In addition to what we're doing, other than the Christmas banquet being on the 19th. If you haven't registered for that, please do that. You can do that right through the app. And there's also a link. If you click on the actual event in the app, you'll see the link for signing up for the food if you want to do that digitally, or you can always sign up here at the church. We have the sign up sheet here. You can do that Sunday or just pop in the office anytime between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. Melissa's usually here for that if you want to come in, or you can just call and do it that way as well. But thank you to those of you that have already registered. A lot of you have already registered for the banquet, and that's tremendously helpful for us. So thank you for that. Have a great week. I pray this Christmas season is one of rich blessings for you. I hope you will have great opportunity to speak the gospel and the good news to those around you. And every morning, I hope you're waking up asking God for new opportunities to speak the gospel into the lives of those around you, because he will give you those opportunities, and they are a blessed opportunity to be able to do that. So have a great week. See you Sunday. Hopefully see you in person, 10:30 a.m. if you can make it. If not, you can always join us online here on Facebook, YouTube, or the website, or through the app. You can always watch it through the app as well. I always forget about that. But you can do it there, or just watch it, if you're busy doing something on Sunday morning, maybe you're in the church, maybe you're engaged somewhere doing something, you can always watch it later. Always come back and view it later. Well, have a great week. Look forward to seeing y'all on Sunday, and that's all I got for you.